Hello guys, welcome back. So Satan won. So yay, I really didn't get to tell you in the last video, but it it clicked for me last night. I was listening to the classical music channel and I am trying to be tolerant. Everybody needs to be close to their God in trying times, but they are really upping the religious music to a point where I'm like, okay. And they're playing these songs that either say I'm ready to die and cross the river, and I'm like, that's cheerful, or they're playing songs begging God not to hurt them. And I thought, what is wrong with you people? How did you practice this religion for 2,000 years? You're either willing to die, you don't trust the God to protect you, or you're begging him not to protect you, not to hurt you. I'm like, what's wrong with this religion? It was like my eyes really opened, and I'm like, this is horrible. Do you actually understand the meaning of the words coming out of your mouth? Because I don't think you do. Please don't hurt me. Do you hear yourself? You sound like an abuse victim. So I'm getting damn straight back here. So, it kind of opened my eyes. And I had a chat session with Satan and Lucifer last night. I know what that sounds like. And Satan and Lucifer work with me today because, these days we can all get in a tizzy every so often. It's perfectly normal. It doesn't mean we lack faith. It just means the fucking news media needs to shut up for 5 minutes every once in a while or talk about kittens or some kind of shit to balance everything else out. So I can, yay, she's back here. So, he has been requesting for a while. Satan's been requesting for a while. Can he have Satanist in the tags? I said, well, Lord, I would consider myself a Lokean. And I said, Satanist, and I realized I can't fight him on that one because there's no trying to fight Satan if you don't have a logical argument. And I tried to say, yeah, but it would be like having Christian Buddhist. And he goes, so? And I said, okay, I'm Loki and Satanist. I can only think of one that I know of in existence, and their stuff disappeared from the web years ago. And I said, I think I fought it for so long because I'd seen that, and a lot of Lokeans do seem to go over to Camp Satan. I think because they think they have to choose. I personally don't think you have to choose. You're a Lokean, do whatever the hell you want. Same thing for Satanist. If you work with either Loki or Satan, it should be about freedom and choice. Not when they want you to learn a lesson, but other than that, it should be about freedom and choice. Loki's actually more lenient, will let you do whatever you want to do, especially if it's going to result in disaster. And then I'll go, you know what I mean. I don't mean to scare you guys, but people that work with him, if you decide you're obstinate and stubborn and gonna run off and do this thing that he told you not to do, he'll let you go do it and suffer the consequences because that's the kind of teacher he is. But usually he's pretty good at multiple warnings, so don't worry about it. It's not like he just warns you once, like, oh, don't do it, and, lets you go do it. He will tell you multiple times that it's not the thing for you to do, and you don't have to freak out, especially if you're just starting out with him. It's not going to be the high learning curve. Shut up. And he's back here helping. And so, we'll be adding Satanist to the tags, because, Satan's been asking me, he says, I'm the one that answers your prayers. Lucifer's the one that answers your prayers. We've always answered your prayers. And they gave me a lot of other little truth bombs that I have to kind of look at, because they already went off. The little truth bombs exploded all over the place, and it made a lot of sense. And I just have to sit with those for a while, and then maybe later on we could share them, or, maybe they don't matter. But it's a thing of he's right. He's the one that answered my prayers, and he asked me tonight, he said, does it matter if I am an old god or I am the Satan of the Bible? I said, you're the only one that answered my prayers. Comparing him and God, I'm like, you actually answer my prayers. So I said, that's my roll stick. He answers my prayers. He always takes care of me, always has my back. So does Loki and the old man. And as soon as I made that choice, the whole house calmed down. Nobody was agitated anymore. Nobody was flipping out. It's because our gods, by and large, want us to have freedom. They want us to have absolute freedom. Now, they will advise us, and if they have a close relationship, they will get rather angry if we're not listening to their advice. But they are not gods that we have to pray to and beg not to kill us or beg, to take us over to the other side or we can't wait to die and go to heaven or something like that. We don't have to do that with our gods. They won't give us false comfort either. That's one of the harder things about being a pagan where, you know, Odin, Loki, any other god will tell you they'll do all they can to protect us, but we have to not make their job any harder than we have to. Whatever we can do to stay safe in crazy times, we do to stay safe, even if it means, every fiber in our body is screaming that it just wants to go out for a look. Don't do it, man. Especially if you've been told to stay in your home if you don't have to go to work or medical emergency or, get food or something. Stay inside. So, our guides do love us and they will walk with us, and it just feels like it's time because Satan's been very loving and indulgent. That and I had Satan stuff fall out of the sky today. There are goats running around this Welsh village. There are goats that usually live in the mountains, but now that all the humans had to stop and stay inside and there aren't all the cars and everything on the road, it's little goat paradise. So the goats have been coming down and, eating the little lawns and eating the hedges and that. And the people are actually excited because they're not going outside. They're actually listening. And, the goats are doing the job for them. And I'm like, that's kind of like Satan in action because some people see him as a very old and revered nature deity. So it is kind of like Satan in action that if you will listen to what you're told, he will reward you. Not maybe literally goats cutting your lawn. That was kind of pretty specific, but that would be it. And it's liberating because there's no concept ever of sin. There's a concept of that was not the wisest thing for you to do, but there's no concept of sin. There's, right and wrong, but that isn't, like saying that something is sinful. It's like, you shouldn't have done that. And we all know what we should do and what we shouldn't do. So it's been really nice, and there was goat stuff everywhere. There were those goats over there. There were even in videos like pop bubbly videos where you wouldn't expect to see something from Satan. It was either his black and red colors or it was, all this other stuff. And I've been getting black and red for years. And I realized now it was Satan leaning on me to start the relationship, and I just wasn't ready because, up until recently, and I guess like certain movies have helped and certain TV shows, ironically, up until recently, the only flavor of Satanism out there was the overly edgelordy Satanism. And if you want to practice that, fine, you do you, but it's, you don't have to do that. You don't have to hurt animals. You don't have to make blood sacrifices. You don't have to do anything weird. It's just like working with any other deity, whether you see them as deities or demons. It's just like working with anyone else. Show them love and respect and serve them well. You could be a vegan and serve them. It's not a thing of you have to make X, Y, and Z as proper sacrifice. It's funny how, people say Satanism is about absolute freedom, and then they tell you, well, I didn't mean you could do that. That's kind of complicated because I realize I just told you don't have to sacrifice animals, but you really don't. You don't have to sacrifice animals to any god. In cultures where it happens, like Voodoo and things like that, in Haiti, a lot of places have no refrigeration, so you must kill the animal and then promptly eat it. There is no refrigeration. You can't put the leftovers away. So it's a practical thing, and in most religions where they have sacrifice like that, that's why it happened. Prior to refrigeration, you either had to salt or cure the meat somehow, or you had to consume it upon sacrifice. So it made sense to have animal sacrifice back then, but now going to Walmart doesn't exactly have the same impact. I know it's kind of long and rambly. I mean, some people do that, like they'll go out and get burgers and that, and I'll definitely offer burgers, but you don't have to be going out and getting living animals. That's the point. So it's really good. And Mammon had his hands on my shoulders really firm because he wanted me to make the video. And when somebody's telling me to do it now, I have zero inspiration, but he had his hands on my shoulders really firmly, not as a threat or anything, but just, we are supporting you. We're the ones getting you through this. We're the ones seeing you through the chaos. we are your family. And there is a hint of that mammon and patience in there, and it's like, you have to do this. Satan has been so super nice to you. Why the hell aren't you getting up and doing this? And don't you worry about what anybody's doing over to the left of you, or right of you, or behind you, or front of you. You do you. So that, as I always tell you guys, you have to do your own thing. You have to do whatever you feel the gods are leading you to do. So to me, it really doesn't matter if you call them gods, you call them demons. They seem to respond to either. Satan takes particular delight in responding sometimes to that kind of Christian idea of Satan, but only because he has a sense of humor. And I was gonna say the devil in him, but you know what I mean. He's naughty. He likes to do that, but it would make sense for a wild god to be amused by, you know, what he was eventually turned into. And if he really was the Christian Satan, I wouldn't give two shits. At least he's protecting me, taking care of me, and he's seeing to my needs. And you know, with somebody gone, they're all getting along perfectly well. They're all supporting one another. So we have the Greek gods, we have the Norse gods, we have Egypt, we have some from South America, we have First Nations, we have like everyone, and I keep getting held from Scotland. I'm not sure who it is. I was like looking at, you know, the Morgan and Lou, and I'm like, can you just not find stuff from Ireland? And they're like, not us. So it's going to be interesting to see who sells in grandly from Scotland. But today Satan was making his presence felt very strongly. And you know, at one time, you know, if you'd asked me decades ago if I'd ever work with Satan, I would have said no. But, you know, you change. As you walk along your path, you change. And I'm like, hey, he's always taken care of me and he's always watched over me. And I think looking back at my past videos and how much I've talked about him, this was a natural conclusion. Loki, I asked him, I said, I don't know if I said it this time. I said, are you sure you want to share the spotlight? Because you know it's only Loki and Lokean in the tags. And he thought about it and he said, yeah, he's the one he wanted for me. Loki wasn't going to force me, but, you know, the choice had to be made, and Loki wanted me to be on Team Satan. So Loki's like, I wanted him for you. I'm so happy for you. And now Loki doesn't care. I can have every god in the universe, so to speak. And, you know, except for that one that didn't work out too well. So, you know, other than that, he's happy. So he's happy and content. We're all happy and content. And I don't feel like I've lost anything. I actually feel like I've gained a lot. I feel a lot more balanced now, probably because Mammon's been pushing on my shoulders for a while, but I feel a lot more balanced now. And Asmodeus is happy and purring. They all adore Satan and Lucifer, so to me it doesn't matter if they're demons or old gods or something else entirely. So you guys are going to see that change. If you guys see rude, stupid, intolerant comments before I do, just ignore them. I will delete those people. I knew, we discussed it. I said, you know, the moment I start adding Satanist in, everybody and their mother gonna have to come over and bother us. And they're like, we know that, but don't worry, we'll take care of it. And when Mammon says he'll take care of it and gets that little smile on his face, it's the same way that not Asmodeus, that Odin smiles. It's like, I'll take care of it, my dear. So, so I'm not too worried about it. But if you do see stuff like that, you know, you can just ignore it. I will eventually try to find it. Comments are really sporadic for me right now. I don't know if I told you. My comments are going to, I'm not getting like the little ding and the little light up above anymore. I'm sometimes getting a comment and it will be right on the video, but I have to like click the video and go to this page and look at it, and then I can find the comment. If I go right to the video, sometimes the comment's not there. So do check multiple times a day, guys, but sometimes your comments aren't coming through until like almost 24 hours later. So I swear to you guys, I'm not ignoring you. It's just I'm not seeing the comments until sometimes like a day or so later. I have had comments, not recently, thankfully, but I've had comments pop up like a month or so later. Yeah, that late. They will like pop up sometimes later. So if you're commenting and I'm not getting to you, it's probably YouTube being YouTube right now. I am not seeing some of the comments. So if you guys like what you see, like, comment, and subscribe. Enjoy those new tags. And we will see you later. Bye-bye.